in the last 10 years, with 2020 likely to be a record for export volume. The U.S. industry has shifted in the past 10 years from exporting about 10 to 20%, now up to 25 to 30% of the crop. In 2019, the most recent full year of statistics, the U.S. peanut industry exported 28% of all the peanuts produced in some form or another. That according to the council and Stephanie Grudenfelder, the vice president. More high-value products are also being exported in the past 10 years. An important example is peanut butter. In 2010, peanut butter exports were about 28,000 metric tons. In 2019, 41,000 metric tons were shipped. The number may be down in 2020, but it is likely due to limited supply and not limited demand. The effort also involved the whole supply chain, farmers who increased their yields, shellers who expanded capacity, and countless others from salespeople to the tote bag suppliers. The industry also successfully leveraged USDA's export promotion funds to help make this possible.
Here's farmer and landowner John Prue.
We purchased the land about 3 years ago, and there was an old farmstead on there with trees. We were going to clear the land so we could farm through it. We thought we knew where the pipe was, so we didn't call to get it located. The work on our property led to the damage of a light crude pipeline. Fortunately, no one was hurt, but it could have been much worse.
Never assume the location or depth of underground lines. Always call 811 or visit clickbeforeyoudig.com before you start work. A message from the Pipeline Operators for Ag Safety Campaign.
I'm Tyron Spearman for Southeast AgNet.
When it really counts, depend on the source for the latest weather updates, keeping you ahead of the storm. 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, The Source.
We'll have cloudy skies early today, then a mix of clouds and sunshine this afternoon with a high of 69 to 74. Mainly clear tonight, low 47 to 53. Then partly sunny Tuesday, high 69 to 71. Wednesday will be mostly sunny. Should be a nice day with a high of 74 to 76. Then look for thunderstorms in the area Thursday afternoon through late Thursday night. High Thursday, 74 to 81. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Holly Holden.
Think you know Dex Imaging? Think again. In the office, streamlining communications. In the field, delivering top-notch service, enhancing productivity and reducing downtime. In the data center, a part of the growing digital document revolution. In the world of business, supporting entrepreneurs and helping companies grow. In the forefront of technology, developing cutting-edge document management solutions. So if you think you know Dex Imaging, you don't know Dex.
This is Ocala Talks with Tom Schmidt, bringing stories that are important to our community in and around Ocala. Plus, of course, a splash of sports as well. Now, here's your host, Tom.
As the moniker says, your host, Tom, is in the building. Sonda Eunice, who joins us at this time, she's running around the building somewhere. I'm sure she's getting some coffee, some bonbons, Diet Coke, something. She's probably dividing up the Christmas card list or something. I don't know what she's doing. I got no idea. But I got in studio with me a guy I know really well and a guy I met recently who I'm going to have to talk to once I get a little money from this radio gig about my future retirement plans.
Right, there you go.
Trevor Deshaw is in the building along with, I don't know why I brought John Thorman. We're going to find out why I brought John Thorman, but nobody cleared that through me. I'm just going to be honest with you. Nobody cleared a guy that has a much nicer car than me was allowed in the building. And I drive a Cadillac. And it's still not a Corvette. I'm just going to clear that up. I'm going to clear that up right now. Just clear that up. Good morning, fellas.
Morning, buddy. How you doing?
Good. Sonda is getting Facebook Live set up.
Oh, okay.
So waved everybody on Facebook Live. We already got the Man Flex on YouTube. We already got that.
This one right here.
Oh yeah, that one right there. We got the Man Flex on YouTube. I noticed you didn't give the Man Flex, Thorman.
Well, I didn't want to stand them up.
I understand. You didn't want to overshadow them.
That's exactly what it is. Yeah.
Get this.
They let each other shine. How are you guys?
Very well. How are you doing, Sonda?
Awesome. Thank you so much for coming back and bringing your partner.
Oh, my goodness. I'm so excited. John Thorman is here. He's ready to talk about this stuff.
You guys have a lot of information to share with us.
We do. We brought quite a bit of information, and I think that area's finally starting to catch on that, hey, there's other and better options out there, and now we have a way of helping them understand what it is.
Yeah.
So we're pretty
Before we
excited.
go into this, we have Trevor Deshaw with
ma'am.
Might CD Life, John Thorman with Might CD Life.
The Thorman Group.
Yeah, the Thorman Group. Okay,
Yes.
perfect. And you guys work together?
We work together, absolutely.
Perfect. And what do you guys specialize in?
I'm going to go ahead and let John take this.
There we go.
So what do we specialize in, buddy?
Well, we specialize in life insurance and retirement plans and helping people, really set some goals and achieve them so they can get financially independent and retire early.
Awesome.
Absolutely. I like that. I use the words
Right.
tax-free retirement strategies, which, believe it or not, I actually learned that from John.
Okay.
Those 4 words in a row I like.
Tax-free retirement strategies, that's right.
Yes.
And so you mentioned a little bit about it the last time that you came on, last week.
Yes.
And would
Yes.
you guys like to give us more details about how this works? I'm sure that everyone wants to know more about this because a lot of people who hear about it at first are like, wow, is this too good to be true? So explain it to us more about how this works.
That's right. They say, well, there is no tax-free retirement strategy. It's like,
Right.
well, there is. You just haven't heard about it yet, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So
And that's what you guys are here for.
That's what we're here for. That's right. So, and why it's so important from my perspective is really you don't know what your future tax rates are going to be. And so when you retire, your biggest expense is going to be taxes, what the government's taking. And so most people are putting all their money for retirement into a tax-deferred plan, like a 401k or a traditional IRA. But when they start withdrawing that money in retirement, it's taxed as ordinary income, which gets the worst tax rates, imaginable. And like I said, you don't know what those rates are going to be.
Right.
And given our massive debt load as a country and our deficit spending every year, I think that there's really nowhere to go but up for our future tax rates.
So let me ask you this. For the layperson, it might not be quite grasping. What you're saying is if you put into a 401k or an IRA all your life, at the end of it, you're smart enough that you've saved correctly, you've invested correctly. Let's say you have a nest egg of $2 million. Which is not enough really in this day and age to survive the entire time, but it'll get you started. The government's going to tax that $2 million as if you were a person who made $2 million. So they're going to tax you at about a 45 to 50% tax rate is what you're saying.
Whatever rate it is at the time.
Right.
We don't know. It could be
Right.
worse.
It could fluctuate.
Absolutely. You're dead on with that, Tom.
Right.
And if you look at historical top marginal income tax rates, we've seen them over 60%.
We have. They've been
70%.
They've been the highest they've ever been in this country is 81%. Yeah.
Could you imagine?
You only get 19% of the money you save.
Yes. So that's the problem, and that's why we're wanting to help people diversify and put in a defensive strategy against future high tax rates.
Because if I'm understanding IRAs, the traditional ways, don't get rid of the tax. They just wait until
They defer it.
till you're 70 and go to withdraw it, and then they say, "Hold on,
Yeah. No, we're going to hit
we
you.
need our piece."
Yes.
Yeah, and now we need a bigger piece, so we're going to tax you more.
It's kind of like the
Right.
mob.
Yes.
Just give me my money, and
Absolutely.
then you can go on.
Which, if you think about it, it was a terrific strategy by the government to do that, to
It was.
make it so that you can keep your go and save your seeds now, and build this farm, and then we're going to go ahead and come in and take whatever portion we decide that we want at the time. It makes you feel like you're starting with a little bit more, but you're really not. So
You buy a 2-acre farm, you build it up into a 3,000-acre farm. Then the government at retirement says, "We get 2,500 acres."
dead on, Tom.
Yeah,
Tom's getting it.
that's bad.
Well, you just got to let the layperson understand it.
Absolutely.
And that's basically what it is. It's deferred government rape is what it is.
Oh, my goodness, okay.
I mean, it is.
In a nutshell.
It is.
So the answer then, the solution, what we're trying to do here then is give the government a couple seeds up front, and then let's build this huge, massive harvest that's ours. Stay out of it. Put up a no trespassing sign.
Now, and what we're doing is not new. Like some people have heard of a tax-free retirement plan. It's called a Roth IRA, right? So those are available, but they've got a couple of problems. One, there's income limits. So if you make too much money, the government says you can't have one. You can't put money in. So if you make over $140,000, I think it is for an individual, or $200,000 for a
You
couple,
don't have the option of Roth.
you can't have one, right? And if you're really trying to save money, there's contribution limits annually. You can only put in a little bit of money, $6,500 a year. So the advantage of these plans that we're talking about, there is absolutely no income limits. So the wealthiest, the top earners can put money into it, and there's no contribution limits, so you can put as much money away every year as you want to. Huge advantage.
In a place like Ocala, where a single guy in Ocala, if you're making, say, $80,000 a year and you live in Ocala, and you're single with no dependents, like me.
Right.
I don't make $80,000, but if I did, I could live on $45,000, no problem. I could then take the other $35,000 at no limitations and put it into one of these.
Correct. Absolutely.
Why is everybody not doing this?
They just don't know. We're trying to get the word out there, I think is what it is.
What does it take to qualify for a plan like this?
It is a health and life insurance product, so you do got to be healthy,
reasonably healthy. Yeah.
There's limits that we can make sure to keep it at to avoid a lot of potential problems, but we got to make sure that you're not going to pass away next week if we're going to put a large death benefit on your retirement package, because that's one of the other advantages of this comes with is a day one large death benefit where your 401k and everything else in there, whatever it's worth, and we're still going to tax that. So I hope that answers your question on that.
Yeah, and then I believe you guys said there is a minimum amount that they can contribute each year.
Yes, it's like $100 a month, I think, is the lowest package you can get. There might even be some as low as $50 a month for you to get started, but that the younger you are, the better, because like I said, on these particular products, you're investing in this S&P 500 just like a lot of other people, the index funds.
Yeah.
The only advantage that we're getting to take advantage of here compared to everybody else is the fact that we're never taking a loss. Remember, we're wrapping this in that insurance product, so we're taking away any potential losses again. Mm-hmm. So as the market goes up, we're going to take advantage of those gains, but then when the market takes a drop, we never have to participate in the losses, and we still get that death benefit. So one of the things that I had brought here was an illustration to show what $100,000 100 years ago in a 401k or your traditional retirement plans that are subject to a loss.
Mm-hmm. 20 years ago.
Yeah, 20 years ago, along with ours that never took a loss. And on its down years just stayed the same. Mm-hmm. And it turned out to be about $100,000 with the regular was about $220,000 total after 20 years.
Yeah.
Of course, that is going to be taxed now.
Right.
In ours, you're looking at $330,000 tax-free income. So you made, that's a significant difference, about 50-some% difference.
Yeah.
Don't double check my math, anybody, but just made that number up. But that's what it sounds like to me. That's a large difference between the two.
Right.
And now you're getting out a tax-free strategy, so I like that.
Explain again to people who may not have heard or may not have understood why it is you can pay the tax up front and then have it tax-free instead of deferring the tax and paying it on the back end. Why is this plan? Why is the government okay with this plan?
Well, it's because it's taking full advantage of the life insurance rules and regulations, basically, is why that is.
Okay, so there are rules and regulations, and this is that's why the life insurance and health insurance additives are added to it to help get this kind of tax-free. Yeah.
The tax benefit part is because it is partly a life insurance policy, right? So the savings element's unique in that we have the indexing accounts, but then the tax benefits are available because it's inside of a life insurance policy.
Yes, that's the vehicle wrapper.
Okay, just so everybody understood that.
Right.
And what is this product called?
An indexed universal life policy, or for us, we just call it an IUL. That eventually will become a layperson term like a 401k. An IUL, I got an IUL. So that's what we're going to get to know it as, indexed universal life.
Very cool. And then you guys also have a different product also that you were telling me about, the premium financing. Did you want to go into that?
It's actually very similar to this. It's this on steroids.
Yeah.
Yeah, premium financing is absolutely tremendous, especially for individuals who maybe own a business or they're a little bit higher earner, a doctor, a lawyer, maybe making $150,000, $200,000 a year, but they're able to save a minimum of around $26,000 a year.
Okay.
All right. The way premium financing works on this, and John helped me out with this, basically is on the one that we've been selling a lot of. You're putting in the beneficiary, or not the beneficiary, but the person who's saving, they're putting away for 5 years, and 5 years only.
Yeah.
So the minimum on these is $26,000 a year that they're putting into their account, their retirement account. During that 5 years, the bank is also funding their premium for them, almost double what they're putting in. If they're putting in 26, the bank might be putting in 50.
Yeah.
They're putting in, though, for a total of 10 years, okay? Now, a lot of people are like, well, why is the bank putting in money into my account? I'm going to end up having to pay that back. Well, it's a very, very, very secure loan. If you were to pass away at any point in time, there's a large death benefit that way more than covers what the bank is putting in, plus their little interest rate. So your family gets the rest of it, bypasses probate, huge death benefit. However, if you did live, which is the goal for a retirement package, at the end of the 15th year, the bank will then finally take back any monies that they had put in. So they put in a large amount for 10 years for you, and your money was able to go up with the market, never take a loss, just like we were talking about. And now at the end of the 15th year, when they take their money back, you have this massive policy that you basically only paid 20, 30% for.
Yeah.
And it ends up being a large tax-free strategy as well. So we love getting in. The average policy on that is about $600,000 a year that is being put into these accounts. But John and I are going to be specializing in that because the majority of our friends are business owners.
Yeah.
These are the people that benefit from this the most, in my opinion. Doctors and lawyers and them too, but I don't have a lot of those friends.
And what are the qualifications for something like this if somebody wanted to get into something like this?
Can I tag on a little extra explanation? Because I like to introduce the concept. Like, this is an advanced financial strategy that has been reserved typically in the past for people with a net worth over $5 million. But we're able now to make it available to a much larger audience. And this is not for everybody, to be clear. This is leverage, though, and it gives you an opportunity to get leverage and to accelerate your wealth accumulation. And the example I like to use is if you're a business owner and you need to buy a new piece of equipment, do you pay cash for the whole thing? No, right? You put some cash down and you finance the balance. Right. Well, that's what this is like. With the policy, it is an asset. You're saving money, so you put some money down and you finance the rest of the premium, which is why it's premium financing, right? And so the qualifications are, if you're a professional or business owner and you're earning over $150,000 a year, you can start to qualify for these programs. You do need to be able to stroke a check one time every year for at least $26,000.
Okay.
And then, again, you still have to be reasonably healthy because it's wrapped up inside of a life insurance policy. And so that's pretty much it. And if you can qualify for that, then you can accelerate your wealth accumulation with these programs.
Is it based as an index as well? Is it an index rolled into a life insurance issue as well?
It's the same. It's the same policy, totally. Now we just have a third party that's arranging the financing with the banks. It's a specialty bank situation that provides the lending, and the interest rates on the loans are super cheap. It's LIBOR plus 1.85%. So you've got really good positive margin on the money right away.
Let me ask you this. When you talk about the index, is there a set grouping that is in the index, or is it something you can pick as an individual, or is it a set grouping?
It's a set group.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's options on which index you want to tag it to, right? So you could follow the S&P 500 index or another index, a global one.
Right.
There's options.
But there
Barclays.
are options, but it's set indexes. You don't get to choose, pick and choose what you want to create your index.
Right, you pick and choose the index you want, and you can change it, but you don't pick what goes into the index.
Certainly.
Correct.
And there's a couple options you can choose with that. Like I was telling you about never taking a loss. We actually have a couple where instead of zero, we call it zero is your hero. You know, when everybody else is losing 25, 30, 40%, zero is our hero. We didn't lose a penny. Well, we actually have a couple that 1% is our zero. So even on a bad year where everybody else is losing 30, 40%, you still made 1%. So we have some that those are our floors. So,
but this is a long-term. This isn't something. This isn't a do it for 3 or 4 years. This is a long-term goal. At least 20 years down the road, 25 years down the road.
Well, we like to see it at least 12 to 15 years before you need to start withdrawing money from the account.
So I'm 54, so I need to get on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like today.
Tick-tock, right? Yeah.
The clock is ticking.
Correct.
Absolutely. One of the other nice things, though, with an IUL that I would like to bring up because of your question is the fact that it is liquid. If there's cash available in your value, you have access to that. You don't have to wait till you're 59 and a half and get hit with a 10% penalty.
Right.
That is so unprofessional.
That's okay.
Thorman, turn your phone off.
Yeah, we'll blame Thorman. There we go. Thanks, Tom.
Thanks.
Thorman,
Thrown under the bus.
So basically, you're able to draw out of this without having to pay any fees for drawing the money out to
Yes,
use it?
the ultimate goal is you becoming the bank. You become your own bank is the ultimate goal here, in my opinion.
I think that's a great advantage for business owners. I know a lot of business owners don't want to put money in a tax-deferred retirement account because it's not liquid. If something happens, they can't touch that money without big fees. Penalties, right?
Exactly.
And with our program, there is accessibility. You can lend yourself your money out of your policy, essentially.
Is this the same thing as you hear people talk, and the same type of things you hear people talk about, annuities? Is this the same, or any? Not even close.
It's not. I mean, an annuity is an insurance product, but it's definitely this is not an annuity.
Okay.
To be
I
clear,
know some people try to run from annuities, so I wanted to make sure they know this is not.
This
an
is
annuity.
not.
There's some good annuities out there, and we actually are able to help people with what we call indexed annuities. But indexed annuities would be more for the person who already has the money. Once you have the money, then we can take care of it with an annuity that'll have some guarantees for you. But when you're trying to accumulate the money, that's where you would use the indexed universal life. Tom, you're getting smart about this stuff. I like it.
Right. At my age and broke, you got to do something.
He's like, I'm on a journey.
right?
I just want Thorman's vet. That's what it is.
Yes. And to be clear, it's my wife's vet.
I'm well aware
you know what
whose
I mean?
vet it
Okay,
is.
that's.
Hey, you don't know the looks I'm getting from behind you every time I mention her car.
She's like, that's my car.
Very cool. But even outside of those products, you guys also do everything that another life insurance agency would do.
We have all kinds of regular life insurance and supplemental health insurance. We have Medicare Advantage plans and Medicare supplements. I mean, we've got a very broad product offering to help all kinds of people, whether they're, young millennials entering the workforce and want to save for the future and can start putting a few $100s away every month, to the retired senior that needs Medicare products or supplemental health products.
The HMAs, did you want to mention those?
You're our resident HMA expert.
Okay. So the HMA is an alternative to a health savings account or a flexible spending account. It's a unique product. It's actually a patented financial product. I didn't even know you could do that, right? But it's a patented financial product that allows you to save money to pay for your future out-of-pocket medical expenses. Mm-hmm. So you get a Visa debit card and you just make contributions every month and you save up a balance. And you can use it to pay for your health insurance deductible or your co-pays, but you can use it for all your doctor visits, prescriptions. And this is unique, isn't it, that you can use it to pay for elective procedures like maybe LASIK eye surgery or cosmetic surgeries.
Buy one boob, get one free.
Yeah, so this is dramatically different in that if you pick a plan based on your savings goal. So I chose a $20,000 plan. So in 35 months, the plans just work on a 35-month calendar schedule. In 35 months, I want to have $20,000 on this Visa debit card that I can use for anything that I want. Yeah. Well, each plan you pick has a corresponding monthly contribution. Mm-hmm. So for that plan, it's $251 a month. Okay. Well, what's interesting, if you take $251 a month times 35 months, that's how much I'll pay in to reach my cap, right? Mm-hmm. That's $8,785 that I'll have paid in over 35 months.
You have $20,000.
But I have $20,000 on my balance, right? So I don't know anywhere you can go and double or more than double your money in 35 months. That's legal. Do you?
That's all.
Not
legal.
Right. That's what I'm talking about.
That's the problem.
I know some guys that can do it,
right?
But it wouldn't be legal.
So for me, it's a no-brainer because let's face it, we're all going to have future medical expenses. Right. We're all going to have out-of-pocket medical expenses. So why not start now and plan for it and get the procedure done at half price?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's very cool.
Yeah. So we're excited about that product. And we just introduced a similar version for your pets to pay for their future veterinary bills.
Which, by the way, people scoff when you say, pet medical bills and everything and medical insurance until your dog, say, eats a entire cloth napkin and then it messes with the intestinal system and he has to have $11,000 in surgery.
Right.
And because he's your only child, one of your only children, it's like your child, so you do whatever it takes.
You pay it, right?
You're absolutely right.
Now, by the way, just so you know, that was not Tom, but I have a very good friend who actually paid $11,000 in vet bills to get a chewed up cloth napkin removed from his pet. And it cost him $11,000 out of pocket.
Right.
Yeah, he needs PHMA.
Right, and that's where this product would have been a great,
Absolutely.
solution for him if he had saved it up in advance, right? Then he could have had that at basically half price.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's incredible.
So we've got about 3 minutes left.
Okay.
What do you guys want to share?
I'm really excited about this. I say this over and over again, but I do believe that the 20s are going to go down in history as the time that the retirement system finally changed for the better, for the people.
The roaring 20s.
Yes, man. And along with that, though, comes an opportunity, because if that's such a drastic problem, we're going to need people to help. So John and I are both actively seeking people all across the United States to help us sell this. The requirements would be you do have to go get a life insurance license issued by the state. We are professionals. Yeah. You don't have to go get all these fancy series and all these, because we don't have a license to lose money. I cannot lose you your money. So I like that advantage. But we're looking for other go-getters like ourselves, possibly business owners who are looking for a part-time opportunity to really go out and make a difference, because this is a time that our country really needs us to step up and bring forward the actual solution and quit getting so sheepish. What do you think, John? Give us another close out.
You know, a lot of people don't know this about me, but I ran a financial services business for over 10 years up north, and I never thought I would get back into this industry. But A, I wanted to be in business with Trevor because he's crazy and I love him, and I knew we'd have a lot of fun.
Yes.
But B, this is a product innovation that I didn't know it existed. And when I saw it and the benefits it had in real after-tax spendable money during retirement, I told Trevor, I go, dude, this is a no-brainer. Like, we could kill this. Let's go help people and make a difference. So,
absolutely.
I'm happy, excited to be working with him, and happy to help other families take advantage of this opportunity.
Is the future exponentially just great in this not only this field, but in this area, because of the just natural retirement that you got going on here with the health stuff you offer and everything?
Right.
It just seems like this area is ripe for the picking.
The country is ripe for the picking, and there's several things. One, there's 10,000 people a day turning 65 for the next 10 years. In this area, we've got 1,000 people a day moving to Florida.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, the market here is phenomenal. You know, it's a great opportunity. Yeah.
Very cool.
Thank you.
I was going to ask the same question you're about to, so I'll let you do it.
How can people find you guys?
Mine is, my website is www.mytdlife.com. TD, Trevor Deshaw, mytdlife.com. You could check that out, fill in your information. I'd be happy to get back to you. If you want to join the team, man, we're looking for good go-getters right now. If you're interested in hearing more one-on-one about what we actually sell, John and I would be happy to sit down and have a lunch. It's usually our treat. I mean, come on, this is a no-brainer right now.
Awesome.
And then, I have a website, it's thormangroup.com, or on Facebook as well,
Yeah.
Thorman Group.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Well, thanks for coming in, and thanks for enlightening people my age on the need to get tax-free money when you retire.
That's right.
Yeah.
Thanks, Tom.
Thanks, Tom. Thanks, Sonda.
Absolutely. Thank you for joining us.
Yes.
WOCA, the source.
Boom.
We'll be right back after this timeout.
That was
Stay with us.
USA Radio News with Lance Pry.
Congress reached a deal Sunday on a roughly $900 billion coronavirus relief package, including a new round of $600 stimulus checks for most